Superman is back and now completely evil, except the Wonder's got a secret weapon, a new Kryptonian. Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. This is Volume 5 of the Earth 2 epic. Honestly, you should just watch the original videos to get caught up, but here we go. Darkseid invaded but was stomped by Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, though they died in that process. The World Army then began trying to build defenses against a second Darkseid attack by recruiting and capturing all of the new Wonders. Green Lantern, Flash, and Hawkgirl started a new group. But now Darkseid has invaded again, and our completed group of Batman, Flash, Hawkgirl, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Val, Dr. Fate, and Red Arrow isn't enough. Oh, and Superman's back now too, and he's a douche working for Darkseid. The World Army tries to escape through one of Sandman's portals, but Adam tells him that he'll stall Superman to buy them some time. Superman then grabs Adam by the arm, and using his heat vision, he cuts off Adam's giant arm. He then begins to beat Adam with his own arm until he is unconscious. Jimmy Olsen in the Batcave gets reports that Superman has flown around the world stopping the World Army in every major city of the world. They have failed. Dr. Fate then screams out from the corner of the cave about crumbles and an exodus. You see, Superman has crushed and cracked the helmet of fate, and he's been growing more and more insane since then. Red Arrow demands that they leave the cave and they do something. They can stop Superman, but Batman challenges him to face off with Superman using a weapon from 500 years ago. He would be useful if they were attacking Batman's castle or something. Everyone is frustrated. They don't have a plan of attack and they can't think of a way to stop Superman. So Major Sato suggests a final fallback. The World Army has been using the island of Amazonia as their fallback home. It's been shrouded from the world in magic, and it's the last bastion of hope. Though no Amazons have lived there since Darkseid's original attack. Dodds tells Commander Khan on the island that he was only able to evacuate less than 100,000 soldiers, and he only has 10 million remaining civilians. Khan is distraught, and Dodds tells him it's not his fault. He couldn't have seen this coming, but Khan doesn't accept that. He feels that he was arrogant and underprepared for this type of attack. It gets even more concerning for him as he gets word that the world government has begun Project Beyond. They built a space ark as a final effort to save the doomed planet's wealthiest and most powerful. They waste no time launching it into space at increasing speeds. Superman sees them trying to make an escape, and he decides to make an example of them with Beguiler's help. He tears open the bottom of the space ark, and he allows everyone inside to fall back to Earth to allow the 1% to trickle down. Khan tries to call up to Atlantis to plead with Aquawoman to help, but she refuses. The World Army is the one that trapped her in the capsule, making her a prisoner. Jimmy Olsen interrupts their call to inform them Major Sato might have a plan to stop Superman. Meanwhile, Bedlam is mind-controlling two of the smartest individuals on the planet, Mr. Terrific and Terry Sloan, and he's forcing them to help Mr. Miracle, whom is also being mind-controlled, into building a boom tube big enough to move a planet. Bedlam can tell that Terry Sloan is hiding something deep in the recesses of his mind, and when he finds out what it is, he calls up Superman to let him know they're hiding a Kryptonian. He flies to the location that they are being kept, and he grabs Terry by the throat, demanding to know about the Kryptonian. Bedlam tells him to stop. They need Sloan, and they've got all of the information already. The Kryptonian's name is Val-Zod, and he was sent from Krypton at the same time as Superman, but he ended up here much later for some reason, and Sloan is the one who found him. He was placed into the Arkham facility, but he was taken from it. Bedlam then shows Superman a camera image of Aquawoman and Batman. That's impossible. This man is our greatest threat. Back at the Batcave, Lois Lane is trying to teach Val-Zod about his powers, because once he arrived, he was locked up deep underground. He never saw sunlight, and he never knew that he had powers. But as he's getting a handle on simple flying, parademons arrive with Superman leading the charge. He whips past Lois and Hawkgirl, and he buries Val-Zod into the ground. He then prepares to begin beating on him when Lois Lane stands in front of him. Clark, it's Lois! He pauses for the first time since the invasion, and the fury in his eyes begins to lift. Put him down, Clark! Superman doesn't know what to do, so he drops Val-Zod on the ground. But you died, you can't be here. Then Lois is hit in the back by the parademons. She falls into Superman's arms as he shouts, "No!" blasting and killing every parademon right above them. Lois Lane can't believe that Superman is now killing. So Val-Zod and Hawkgirl go to safety, and Lois leaves with Superman. But before Val-Zod and Hawkgirl can get to safety, more parademons arrive and they begin blasting them. So Val covers Hawkgirl with his body, taking all of the hits, until the Green Lantern appears to make a shield and protect them. Hawkgirl looks up to him in shock. Everyone thought that he died when Superman and Steppenwolf beat him. But then the Green Lantern blasts all of the parademons. Yeah, I can't tell you how much that pissed me off. Superman brings Lois back to the Kent farm in Kansas to his parents. He's acting weird, like he's trying to be his old self. He exclaims, "Mom, Dad, Lois is alive!" Terrified, the Kents tell him to come in. While Lois tries to explain to the Kents what's going on, Superman makes a call. And, looking through Lois's eyes, everyone in the Batcave is able to see him make it. He's calling Bedlam to inform him that he was right. Everyone is in Gotham and they are at the old Batcave. Batman tells everyone that they need to get out of here and get to Themyscira, but the Green Lantern says that he is done running. It's time to fight. Before they can do anything else, the Warhound breaks through the cave with the parademons. They are here already. Red Arrow begins firing his arrows at them. Hey, look, Batman, they're attacking your castle, just before he gets bit in the neck by one of the Warhounds. Then, when the extraction arrives, Dodds makes a portal right there and everyone begins running into it, except Green Lantern. He is blasting everything and asks Hawkgirl to stay with him. He has a plan. Then, the Azrael protocol goes off and the whole cave explodes as the portal closes behind everyone else. Meanwhile, the Flash is being held captive ever since Superman caught him by breaking his ankle. Green Lantern survived by making a protective bubble in the explosion, and he even kept a parademon alive. He tells the demon to report that they have failed. Then, as the demon is leaving, Green Lantern explains the ring found Hawkgirl, but he can't find the Flash, and he wants Hawkgirl to help him follow the demons back to the Flash. As Batman and the team hits the ground of Amazonia, Khan calls out for a medic for Red Arrow, but Batman tells him not to bother. Red Arrow is lost. Then he turns to Val-Zod. "Why didn't you do anything? You could have torn them apart! I know you don't like violence, but do you like this?" He says, pointing to Red Arrow. "Because it's on you!" Val steps away from a very angry Batman and Jimmy chases after him. "Thomas Wayne, I know who you are. I get that you can't fight back either because you didn't have your super strength formula, but Val couldn't either. But he sure as hell was doing what he could to protect us. Frankly, someone that powerful choosing non-violence is incredible. And being a doctor, you just yelling at someone for caring about life is stupid. You need to stop being so damn negative. I was seriously considering becoming your new Robin, but if that's gonna happen, we need to talk about your attitude." While this is going on, the Green Lantern and Hawkgirl follow the parademon back to the White House, where there are legions of parademons. Hawkgirl begins looking for Jay, while Green Lantern makes a distraction and begins fighting all of the parademons himself. It doesn't take long for her to find him and get him out of there, allowing the original three Wonders to reunite: Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Flash. But back on Amazonia, Jimmy Olsen goes to chat with Val. He tells him Batman was wrong. Connor Hawke wasn't his fault. Then he asks what he's hiding underneath that hoodie. Nothing. Well, I have a photographic memory, and I know you haven't taken that thing off since we got you out. Don't you think it's time for a change of clothes? Yeah, okay. And Val-Zod tears off his hoodie to reveal the crest of the House of L. Batman and Khan begin getting reports from Hawkgirl that they just freed Flash and are being chased across the Pacific by an army of parademons and one very angry god, because Beguiler isn't happy. Val finishes taking off his normal clothes, revealing the entire uniform of the House of L. Lord and Jor-El took him in after his parents were punished by the Kryptonian Science Council, and he was hiding the crest for obvious reasons. No one's really a fan of Superman right now. When it was Krypton's time to die, Val was sent away with Clark, Kara, and another Kryptonian. The Green Lantern finally falls though, and it's up to Hawkgirl to save everyone from Beguiler. That is, until Aqua Woman comes out of nowhere, creating a tidal wave to drop the demons and Beguiler. Using this opportunity, the Flash grabs her and runs as fast as he's ever run before, faster than any Flash before. Things go white around him, and even he has no idea where he is. He's never run this fast before, and then Beguiler vanishes. He runs back to his friends and he tells them that he thinks maybe he pushed Beguiler into infinity. Hawkgirl calls it in and tells Batman his ambush worked. Aqua Woman saved them. With Beguiler gone, Batman asks where Superman is, and they watch through Lois's eyes once again. Superman has snapped and he is setting the table, and then he runs out to the barn to get Pa. Pa Kent tells him that he doesn't want to sit there and pretend that Clark is. Clark stops him. Pretend I'm what, Pa? Come inside and show Lois some hospitality. You and Ma are too old to be of use to Darkseid when he arrives, so let's enjoy this while we can. They sit down and they begin eating chicken, and Jonathan Kent has had enough. He stands up and he shouts, "Screw Darkseid! I'm tired of being afraid." Superman stands up and he blasts Jonathan Kent into dust. Lois then stands up. "You can't be him! Clark would never have done that!" Superman is in shock. "Don't say that! I love you!" But before they can do anything, Bedlam calls it in to tell Superman that the gateway is ready. They're ready to move Earth into the position of Apocalypse, and they need him back. Then, Sloan has Mr. Miracle release the beam. Dr. Fate looks up and he can only say, boom. With the device working, everyone can tell that they are taking Earth and they are moving it. They are about to lose this war. So Batman asks Khan, is there enough army for one final push to stop where the beam is coming from and stop this merger? Yes. Then let's go. Dr. Fate walks over to Val-Zod and he puts the helmet onto Val-Zod, allowing him to see everything. Val then takes the helmet off and he tells Dr. Fate, I won't kill Kal-El. Then using his heat vision, he fixes the helmet to bring Dr. Fate back, though he does need to heal mentally from that. Meanwhile, in space, the Green Lantern is using everything he has to hold the planet in place until Superman comes up and grabs him by the throat. But before he can smash Alan Scott's head in, Val-Zod grabs Superman's hand, stopping him. Down on the planet, Batman leads the charge as they prepare for the final fight by jumping in and burying a Warhound's head into the ground. Batman has his strength again. And nearby, Superman and Val-Zod hit the ground. Superman might be evil, but he's not stupid, and he begins to fly right to the location of the beam to prevent them from stopping it. But Lois gets in his way, stopping him long enough for Val-Zod to charge in from behind and try to pull him away. Superman then flips the tables and slams Val into the ground. While this is happening, Flash grabs Aquawoman and runs her into the building where Mr. Miracle, Sloane, Mr. Terrific, and Bedlam are. She begins beating on Bedlam right away, getting him out of the building and onto the ground in front of Batman. With Bedlam out of commission, Sloane, Terrific, and Miracle are free of his mind control, and they begin trying to stop the machine. Seeing the boom tube fading, Green Lantern comes back down to the surface of Earth to help in the war effort, and he asks Aquawoman how she stopped Bedlam. She explains that she basically caused him to have water on the brain. The Queen of Atlantis just gave a god a stroke. Flash asks, is this it? Did we stop the war? No. There's still Superman, Flash. And a little ways off, Val-Zod and Superman are going at it. Until Superman's hand begins to crumble. What's wrong with you? Val asks him. What did you do to me? He asks back. He begins to crumble and fade, and Lois appears stating, it's not Superman. His face begins to crack and his speech patterns begin to change. Me am Superman! Lois! Me am Superman! Then, using her tornado, she blows away the dust that was the fake Superman, ending this. Now what? The Flash asks. And the Green Lantern stands there, with the new team. Now, we take our world back. Seems like a happy ending, doesn't it? Except that they didn't stop Bedlam, just disabled him. A little while later, he now stands in Puerto Rico with Sloane, Terrific, and Miracle again. He grabbed them when no one was paying attention, and he stands there with more followers of Darkseid, Big Barda, and Fury. They will take this planet for Darkseid. We are going to be taking a brief break from Earth 2, and we will be coming back in April with the continuation to this story, World's End. Until then, I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and make sure you follow us on Twitter at Comicstorian, Instagram at Comicstorian, and if you want video game comic books, go check out our gaming channel, Eligible Monster. I'll see you guys next time right here.